calm after the storm. We're back. I haven't been home. I think you have, Mark. But how did you enjoy last night?
I was sensible. I was aware that I had to be, if the result went the right way, that I had to be at the Vitality for 7 a.m. So I biffed out of the celebrations about 11ish. So I stayed after the game and enjoyed the moments with the players and their families and the fans, and obviously did what I had to do for work and things. But I had a sensible head and managed to get back. So, no, it was incredible. Once again, another really special night at the Vitality Stadium under the lights. You know, you just always get the sense, you know, it's only 11,700, but it feels like so much more. And on those evening occasions when the pressure's on and it really means something, the stadium comes alive. And it certainly did that last night, particularly 83 minutes in when Kiefer and Philip were just on another planet with their awareness and understanding and their communication skills. There must be some clever winking going on between those two to pull off that kind of a set piece routine under that pressure in that moment. And then, of course, it just brings back the memories of 2015, and it brings back the memories of everything this football club's achieved in the last few years and what they've been through and what they've done. And yeah, I was a proud Sky Sports reporter.
Yeah, well put. Not a Bournemouth fan.
Not a Bournemouth fan. I'm neutral, and I was definitely neutral all of last night.
Of course.
But no, incredible, absolutely brilliant.
Oh, it was amazing. And we were saying about that, the reminiscent of 2015. It was virtually in the same spot that Pugh got that goal. But what did you think on the night, with the pressure on, the actual performance? I thought from the off, for a team that were on form like Forest, we looked like the team that were in the ascendancy straight away.
I think what we saw last night from Bournemouth was a different type of performance from Bournemouth. It was a bit gritty, it was a bit edgy, a little bit physical. I think we saw that from some of the players that perhaps we haven't seen this season, where they did a different side to the game, and they were patient, and I think that was really important. And I think they marked Sam out of the game. He didn't have really too many opportunities apart from the one where he hit the bar. And of course Brennan Johnson, Championship Player of the Season, someone who's rated around 20-25 million pounds, and Lloyd Kelly had him essentially in his back pocket. You know, he kept him very, very quiet, and he's a very talented youngster. So that was the best thing about yesterday. It was a wise and an experienced performance, professional performance from Scott's team. And then, of course, we had opportunities, and you just weren't quite sure. But there was that spell, 5 or 10 minutes into the second half, and I just turned to my mate and I said, "We're on top now, and this is the time we have to capitalise." Because you felt like Forest had perhaps run out of ideas, run out of steam. I think they'd given so much to their club over the last 10 games, winning 9 out of 10. They gave everything against Swansea. I was at the City Ground on Saturday, and I think perhaps they just run out of flow, and that felt like our moment to take. Yep. And it took a little bit of time, but we took it. So yeah, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we were saying Scott's change, it showed that, bringing on Kiefer Moore. And I almost wonder if Forest almost looked like they were waiting for their moment and thought maybe we would retreat, and we didn't do that. We went for the win, whereas they maybe thought we'd hang on for a point. But going into next season, Mark, from what you think, your perspective, with Scott Parker, what he's brought, what this kind of newish group and the young players come through, how do you see us go? Do you think we're in good hands?
Absolutely. I think, obviously, I always go back and say Maxim has always put the money in. He's always backed the manager. Every single transfer window, he's done whatever they feel is the right thing to do for the club. And I don't think that will be any different this summer. Obviously, Scott will have his plan about what he wants to do and the players he'd like to recruit. I don't know a great deal about off the field, but I get the feeling that there's a real willingness to do the right things in terms of the training ground and to invest in the right way and in the infrastructure of the club. I think they know that's something that's very high on their list of things to do. So that'll be key. And of course they'll bring in the right types of players. I think the most important thing, I think all Bournemouth fans would agree, that whatever happens, this summer, the sort of the club's bigger picture is more important than investing 50 million quid into new players. Like we've said, we've got players that have got Premier League experience. We've got young players that are hungry. The great thing about some of the players we brought in January, people like Kiefer Moore want to prove that they're good enough for the Premier League. Sakiri Dembele wants to prove he's good enough for the Premier League. So you've got a nice mix of experienced Premier League players, but hungry players, and I think that'll be great for Bournemouth. Yeah. So I think I'm excited. I'm really like fans. I'll be watching to see what the club does, how they operate, the types of players they're linked with, who they bring in, what they do, what happens off the field as well. And I think the sort of security that this promotion brings can just let Bournemouth fans rest easy, knowing that they're going to, have a really good, stable club behind them that's run efficiently and properly. As we saw from the first year we came down, they didn't go and spend 30 million to get back to the Premier League. They sold the players that they wanted to sell at the price they wanted to sell them, and they invested that money in the way they wanted to invest it. And obviously off the back of the relegation, they made sure that the books were better than the team. Books come first, and then the team comes second. And if that's the remit and the thinking, then that's key. And I think that will be very much the case for this summer.
I agree, and I'm excited now. I'm already excited. So I'll see you in the Premier League. Thank you. I need bed.